Okay, good. Okay.
So, yeah, I think the cold weather is quite aggressive, like mean. And the warm is quite happy. Warm, he's warm, he's acolhedor, né? Como é que
He's
fala
warm or
acolhedor?
it's warm?
It is warm.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. It, I have a fan here, so
Mm,
so yeah, I can deal with the warm, with the hot weather, but with the cold, it's quite aggressive. It's quite sad. You cannot take your bath, or you can, but you suffer.
mhm.
So yeah, and but
You can do all the things like taking bath and brushing your teeth properly, like this, like really well. Like you suffer, you're
yeah,
right. Huh.
yeah,
What else?
get out of the bath, not with that cold, or you suffer because you are full of water,
Mm-hmm.
covered in water. So yeah, you you get out and the wind comes. Yeah, but I would tell another thing, quite different. I was watching my videos that
Mm-hmm.
of our class with the book
Mm,
about nephews and so on,
mm.
and I was stuttering a lot in that video. It was, yeah, I'm quite uh, rigoroso, righteous,
Demanding.
demanding. Yeah, I would say righteous. Yeah, but demanding. I am quite demanding on myself. So I was stuttering a lot. So
Mm,
yeah, I don't like to make mistakes. So
mm.
I'm happy talking with you this way because I think I make less stutterings. I don't want to do any stuttering, but yeah,
Mm. It will come with time. There will be a time that you won't stutter. Yes,
yeah, it's good. Good.
yes. That's why it's important for you to keep practicing English as much as you can. That's why I'm here to help you out. Because the thing is, if you were still speaking Portuguese, you would be stuttering when speaking English because you wouldn't have practice, enough
Uh,
practice not to stutter. Because if I have a 1 year old, I have a 1 year old nephew, and then he's learning, he said like ba, vovó, que. Okay, you see that he's learning Portuguese, of course. That's our language here. My mom, we motivate him to speak Portuguese, like we do that. We stimulate it. I stimulate him to speak Portuguese. Like the same thing happened to my niece. So in the beginning, it wasn't really easy. It's not easy for them to speak because they have to struggle when speaking. They have to que, but the children don't really think, oh my goodness, I'm doing wrong. I'm stupid because of that. No, no, they just let it go until they start talking without making mistakes. First, quer beber água. Eu quero beber água. Nenê quer beber água. E aí, tipo assim, beber, eu quero. Afterwards, so he starts getting all the conjugations and so forth. That's just a matter of time. And the same thing happens to the languages we learn.
uh, but
Mm,
for how about the pronunciation?
mhm,
Besides three and tree, because I am going to improve that
mhm.
on time.
Yeah,
Three
of
and
course,
tree.
take your time.
Yeah, but pronunciation. What do you think?
Your pronunciation is good, but you still have to improve the. Sometimes I notice the ed endings. For example, the past. For example, I traveled. No, no, no. You should say correct. Sometimes you like travel it. You pronounce the ed where it's not pronounced. I can't see an example right now, but
Yeah.
always remember that you don't pronounce ed like this. Let me share my screen here.
Yeah, the past tense.
Yes, man. For example, here. Yes. How would you say the sentence?
I opened the door.
I open. Oh, perfect. Yes, that's the right
Yeah.
pronunciation. Good job. Now, this.
I use it my cell phone.
There you go. I got it. You not use it. Used. Used. I used my cell phone. Not I used it my cell phone. I used my cell phone. That's
But I will tell you what, I think it's in the middle because for one starter, for one person that is starting the English, they would say the E very strongly, like use it. But I think I am in the middle, but I should not be in the middle. I should be in the high end. But my E, when I say it, is sweet. Yeah,
sweet.
but it's
Yeah,
incorrect
smooth.
the same
Smooth.
way. The same way, but yeah,
Okay, let's read with me. Used.
used.
There you go. Like, now can you say the sentence again?
I used my new cell phone.
Very good. That's the right pronunciation. Well,
no, another thing I would like to say is about my level. B2 or you, yeah, or C1 is quite hard to say.
B2,
Does
yes.
it? C1, yeah.
B1, B2, B2. You are B2. You are going to C1. Yes.
Yeah.
Going to C1.
Yeah. There's a lot of tests on the internet about this level. When you have time, you can send that link, that test to me.
I will.
Yeah. C1, C1 is more than I need to go to TOEFL. Yeah, but it would be better to be C1 and got a C and B2, that being B2 and need to get B2. So yeah, it's never useless to improve your English level.
No, not useless, because think it's not only about a test, but it's about your life. It's about giving extraordinary presentations. It's about being the best. If you have more than others, you're gonna highlight your presence wherever you go, and it's important. But one thing that you should keep in mind is you've got okay, when you're talking about TOEFL or IELTS, there are some structures that are really important to use. For example, like this. What's the advantage of studying English nowadays? Sometimes it has the advantage of studying English is you can communicate with the world. That's the advantage of studying English. For example, using this structure, the advantage of studying English is when we use this kind of structure here. For example, a TOEFL or especially an IELTS, TOEFL or an IELTS examiner, he or she will understand that your level of English is really good, because what happens is this: there are a lot of C1s out there, B2s and C1s out there, or C2s out there, that don't use those expressions, like, because they have like vocabulary, limited structures they use. And then when they go there, if you say like, what's the advantage of studying English? Okay, it happens because you can communicate with the world. When you use this, it seems that that your structures are very simple, and then it doesn't seem that you like, okay, that you do have that level, even though you know how to say this. But if you don't show, people won't be in your mind see that you know that expression, but you're not using because you don't want to. Is that what I mean? Sometimes
Yeah.
they try to sound simpler, but that's not what they expect in an exam. We're talking about an exam. But when you're talking to your friends or whatever, people whom you feel more comfortable with, um, well, you can use whatever sentence to be understood and you'll be great.
Yeah, well, for next week, I have some question about whom, because whom is, but not today. You said whom, and I thought here, oh, this word. But
Mhm.
what do you think about passing TOEFL with brute force, like without studying for TOEFL, but just being good at English, or not?
Okay, it can be tricky. Why? Because you can really get a good grade and get your grade and go. But because TOEFL is like entrance exam, it's a test. I think it's a
Yeah.
3 or 4 hour test.
Uh-huh.
Then I really have to check because it's been a long time that I studied about that.
Yeah.
But the thing is, it has steps, and all the steps are long. And people who can speak very good English, but they are not used to the test, they might find the test really hard because the test requires a lot of practice. Because for example, you have 10 minutes of listening. Then how to do this listening? Then
Yeah. This. Yeah.
maybe you do something that will, instead of making you have more time, it will make you spend more time than necessary. Then when you really have to really put all the answers to the key answers, like this, to the answer sheet, it might take a long time. Then you don't have time to do the other things. Because the thing is, you can have a very good English, but if you don't really know how it works, you can be lost and lose grade for that.
Yeah.
And but as soon as you are used to the exam, you are familiar how it works. Because the thing is, TOEFL and IELTS are considered standard exams. So in other words, it means they don't change. It always is the same pattern. It's listening, speaking. The pattern is always the same for everybody. It never changes. It's not that kind of exam that you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
You can really know it's very predictable. You really know what's gonna happen, but you have to be familiar with it. As soon as you get familiar with it, how to do the techniques. Okay, I'm gonna have 30 minutes listening. Okay, what can I do to optimize this time? Then there are some techniques that are really helpful. And when you do that, you save a lot of time, you feel more confident about that, and the chances of you getting a high score is very high, are very high.
What I was going to tell you something, but
Go
yeah, I
on.
remember. No, yeah. I speaking much better because in the beginning of our classes, we were talking in Portuguese. So when then we start talking in English, and I was stuttering a lot. But now I think, yeah, I cannot be. I don't know if it's already selfish, but yeah.
Not
Uh,
selfish. You are just stating something that's true.
yeah. Oh yeah, but I think I speak much more faster right now,
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and the words come to my mind, and I don't stutter a lot. Yeah, about this class of the nephew and so on. I don't remember about the party. They were doing a party. Do you remember that? Your our class. I was
Uh-huh.
stuttering a lot because I think it was a vocabulary that I didn't know
Mm-hmm.
about nephews and uncles. And yeah, but yeah, I I don't have any chance to talk in English outside of our classes. But I think if I were to talk in English with someone like a teacher or someone, I would do good
Uh,
because yeah, I have like two teachers that went to the United States, but I
mm-hmm.
never talked in English with them, and it was going to be creepy for the class because all two persons talking in English and we are not understanding anything. But yeah, uh, for the yeah, I would like to ask you another thing.
Oh,
uh, like what do you do? Because I saw you're like on the YouTube about things. You do you do like united classes with more than one person?
I
There
do.
was
Uh-huh.
yeah
Just a minute. I'm just gonna close my door here
uh,
just a little bit.
yeah okay
I'm back. Was very fast.
yeah.
Uh,
So but just to being curious
uh-huh.
because
Go on.
I didn't see anyone there, just one girl.
Yes. I have other group classes too, yes. But then some of them are because what do I do with those videos, the other videos you saw? For example, if I have other students, if I have a group of students and one of them misses class, I record the class for the other ones who missed the class, who had missed the class, uh, can watch the class when
Yeah,
they have time. That's why I
yeah,
record some of my classes when I teach groups, because then
yeah.
because I can keep going on, and then they afterwards they can go there, watch the class, and follow what I'm teaching afterwards. I don't really have to go back in the content to really and teach that thing again because they are already familiar with what I taught.
Let me tell another thing I remember here. So yeah, I'm going this way by my own legs, so
Okay.
to say, so to speak, because I was following some persons on Instagram, and you were one of them, and you followed me back. So I think, oh, this guy is nice because I was not doing classes with you at this time.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't know me, but I followed you and you followed me back. So
Mm-hmm.
for oh, this guy is nice. Then I went to Baianos and I saw you there, but I knew you because I would like to do classes with you, but you didn't know me.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw you there one time, and I was thinking about this because I never met you on in person. If you like, it's May, the fifth month of the year, and we start in December 2021. So if we were to meet on Baianos, for example, it will be the first time we met in
We would
person.
meet.
Like
We would meet in person.
would meet. What did I say?
Met. I would met. I would meet.
Uh,
You said I would
I
met,
will.
and then is I would meet because would verb is normal. Go on, go on, go on. Then we talk about
Yeah.
that later.
Okay.
Go, go, go.
Yeah. Yeah. So uh, yeah. Yeah, let me tell another thing because yeah, I just want to talk. I don't yeah, just talking. It's just talking. I happy about it.
So
So
am I.
I was in the térreo, the
Ground
first
floor, ground
level.
floor, ground floor. That in
around
English we call ground floor. Yes.
ground floor. Yeah, I was in the ground floor because I studied in the say segundo andar,
Second floor.
segundo andar, second. Yeah, I was studying the second floor at well.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I was there in the ground floor because the class would be there that day on
Mm-hmm.
Thursday, Monday, Tuesday. Yeah, Thursday. Enfim, and then one guy passed, and yeah, he gave he gave the head, deu a cabeça assim. Enfim,
Uh-huh.
gave the head is
He
the is
nodded.
the
He nodded. He nodded.
yeah, yeah. So I looked at him and I thought, oh, I meet this, I know this guy, and I followed him and I said, oh, I know you, and he was quite shocked, like scared, and he said, well, but who are you? And I said, I'm Pedro. Don't don't you remember me? You gave classes to me on the pandemic. Oh, Pedro. But he was quite surprised.
Oh.
So yeah, and quite scared. Like yeah, he was quite serious. And on classes, he was quite happy and smiling, but on flesh,
Mm-hmm.
carne and bone, he was quite quiet. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's the magic of the internet because yeah, we are having two classes a week, but we never met outside the internet. But yeah, imagine if you were to spend gasoline in your car to go to my home. You can give classes with your if your internet, and me too. I don't need to go to your house. You can teach me in your house and mine in mine house. So
Mm-hmm.
we end classes, we close Zoom, and we are in our houses. We don't need you don't need to move. Yeah, so it's a good thing on internet, I think.
I, I,
Let me see what you wrote here.
I don't think it's good. I think it's perfect.
Yeah, yeah,
I think it's perfect because you know what? We have the same results. I don't really need to leave my comfort of my house, and you don't really need to leave the comfort of your house to have class. You can have class being there in your place, and I can teach from my place too, and have fun without really okay using gasoline or spending more time than to really go there. Because if I really had to go to your place, I would have to leave home about uh 8:40 or around 20 to 9 to be there at 9 or a little bit less. Man, now I don't really need to that. It just takes me like a minute or two to turn on my computer and talk to you and open my Zoom. So
yeah.
I can rest more. I can do my other stuff. So it's great. Man, I don't know. I don't know. Boy, it's perfect. I like it. That's what I have to say. And the result is the same. If if you weren't learning, if you weren't learning, then something would be wrong. But that's not the case. I think you're learning better here than if I were in your house, to be really honest. Because here I can use my screen. You can see what I'm writing. I can show you things.
Yeah,
Maybe
I think so.
yes. If I were in your house, maybe for me to do that, I would use. I have a whiteboard that I used to use when I would go to my students' house because before the pandemic, I would go to my students' house to teach them. I would go to my students' houses. Then I would take my things. I would use my dad's car after his work. That's what I would do mostly. And just very few students would come to my place to have classes with me. So that's the way I started teaching. But then the pandemic, then I remember in 2018, I would have a student from Londrina. Then later I had other ones, and I would teach from Skype. But of course, I didn't use the resources that I use right now. Now, my online classes are a lot better than before. And what really happened to me was that when I really started teaching online, and I discovered some ways that I thought it can be good, it could be good. Then the pandemic came, and I was forced to really work 100% online. And I saw the students were learning as good as they were learning in face-to-face classes. Then I just wondered, why not really keep with my online classes? If someone doesn't really like it, I can really maybe give a free class just for them to really see that it's possible. And but just very few, very few people have not enjoyed this kind of class, but just very few people. Most people, I would say, like 90% of people are really having a good time, and they don't really want to get back to face-to-face classes again because they're having the same results being at their own places like this. One, as long as
Yeah.
you have a very good internet connection and good resources to help you out, you're great.
Yeah, and we have the same internet because we have Gabrimar and me and I have two, or
Yes,
I have two.
you too.
So if you go without internet, I go too. So we are quite bonded in this way, in this way
Yes,
or on this way,
on this way.
on this
Yes,
way. Yeah,
connection, strong bond. Yes, we have this bond. Yes, you can say that.
yeah,
Yes, and that's what really happens mostly. And now I have students in Londrina, would have students in Spain.
oh,
I
in
have
Spain.
in Spain. Jorge. His name is Jorge. He's a Spanish guy. He's learning English with me. He was because he stopped for a while because now it's summertime there. He's gonna travel, do some stuff there. Then he decided to really stop the classes for a while, but then he might start studying again in September. That's when the summer ends there. But I was able to teach him. I taught our other Brazilians who lived in the United States too. I had this opportunity of really teaching the world. I've already taught a Peruvian girl on Zoom.
But it's a quite strange construction phrase. But why do you know for Spanish? Because
Hmm.
it comes from nowhere. One day I was watching your stories and you were talking in Spanish. I said, "Whoa, what's going on?"
Yeah.
Because do you have a double graduation? Because I had a teacher that had double graduation. He she gave English classes, but she gave Spanish classes too.
That's quite
Yeah,
interesting. Well,
yeah.
well, man, when it comes to me, what really happened was that I have been studying Spanish since at least since I have learned Spanish since I was like 10 or 11. But I took a Spanish course with Adriana Fonseca. Have you ever had class with Adriana Fonseca?
Yeah, yeah.
She taught me Spanish at the language school where I work for now. Then what happened? I would have friends. I met friends from Costa Rica, from Argentina. I would go to Bombinhas in Santa Catarina, and Bombinhas is full of Argentinians over there. So then they would speak. I remember they would speak Spanish, and I was a kid back then, and I thought they were speaking a very strange Portuguese because that's what it sounded to me like, a very strange Portuguese or a Portuguese badly spoken. But I found that really amusing, and 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 then I really wanted to learn more. Then I remember I started talking to them, but I tried to speak with Portuguese. I try to speak Spanish with a different
We're
Portuguese
doing
accent.
all.
Yeah, but trying to really use. Hoje vamos fazer tal coisa. Eu não
Ah,
quero
yeah,
falar isso. I thought I was speaking Spanish, speaking
yeah.
like
No,
that, and they wouldn't understand me. That was really funny at the beginning. But then later I realized it was a language, it was Spanish. Then one of my dad's sister started taking Spanish lessons in Maringá. She lives in Maringá, and then she started taking her classes, and she taught me some things. And I don't know, for some reason, I've always been into languages. I've always had an interest in them. And then she started teaching me some things, and I learned them very fast. Then later, I went back to the beach. Then I learned more and more things because I was very curious. How do you say sea, ocean in Spanish? How do you say dolphins in Spanish? I don't know. I I remember like I tried to learn as much as I could back then. I was very curious. Then I will start make connections to the Argentine friends because I've always liked to meet people from other countries. And then after some time, I started after some time, yes, I started talking online with people. I try to find language partners. And I remember my cousin Chijinho, he told me about a website called Live Mocha. And from this site, that back then we didn't have WhatsApp, we didn't have cell phones. Our cell phones weren't as good as they are right now. And then I started teaching on my computer, on my desktop, my dad's desktop. Whenever I had time and I could go there, I started talking to them, and then I met people from Germany. That's where I met international friends. I met a guy from Costa Rica, and we started talking. And then I remember my Spanish was very basic back then. I would speak maybe some words here and there. Then he started really correcting me. As long as I made mistakes, he started, and I would make a lot of mistakes. And back then, my English was already good. It's not as good as it is right now, but it was already good. I was able to communicate back then. So he really helped me with the corrections. And I remember we would text each other in English. Then I tried, hey, when I had questions, I was like this. How do you say paper in Spanish? Papel. And then, okay, how do you say kids? Oh, for example, I'm just thinking about some random vocabulary here. But I remember everything that I didn't know, I would ask him. And then he would tell me. And I remember I would get all the things. I took notes, and then I started trying to use this Spanish more and more until I was able to really speak very well. And then afterward, I started watching more videos in Spanish. Back then, after some time, we had YouTube, and I watched La Usurpadora in Spanish. In Portuguese, say like in Portuguese, we had like a usurpadora. Well, then I watched it in Spanish because it was so popular. I watched it as a kid. No, I'm gonna try to really watch it in Spanish, in its original language, and I did that, and that was interesting because then I was able to understand and learn because I paid attention. Ahora necesito una taza de té. And then she would get with like a taza de té. Then, taza, una taza de té, like chá. And then, una botella de agua. Oh, estoy cansado, una botella de agua, por favor. Okay, oh, and so many things. Then I started learning vocabulary by associating the words to the images. And then since I knew some vocabulary from the soap opera, it really helped me understand more in Spanish later. And El Chavo del Ocho también. El Chaves. I started watching it in Spanish too to get as much things as I could, like La Escoba. La Escoba is like the broom that you sweep the yard, that you sweep whatever thing. Then I started making all of those connections, and then I took a 1 year after that things, after all of the things I learned, I took a 1 year course with Adriana there. Then I took her, hey, because I really wanted to perfect my Spanish. And then she taught me Spanish there, and she was brilliant. She would speak Spanish with me all the time. She wouldn't speak Portuguese, and I forced myself to speak Spanish as much as I could. Also, I didn't like. We didn't use any kind of translation. And then she would help me with images, with things. Then I remember I learned so many things from her.
Well, the $1 million question.
Uh-huh.
Uh, what do you? Well, what's your level? Do you think?
In Spanish,
Yeah,
C1.
C1 or all?
C1. According, but I think I have to learn more. Because I've already taken tests. But I was between like B2 to C1. But mostly
Yeah,
it's un nivel avanzado.
yeah, but in the I go sometimes to the language culture. So B2, it's quite, yeah, you are good. But then if you go to C1 or 2, no, you see, it's not the guy is a no, is a monster. So it's B2 is kind of good, but C, whenever C, whatever C,
Whatever C.
or
Mhm.
whatever C, it's another level. So yeah, so it's a huge lap, I would say, to B2 to C1. Like A1 and A2 is quite trash.
Yeah,
And
it's
then
very basic.
yeah, B1 is good. B2 is very good, but B2 to C1 is a huge lap. The guy talking in C1 or C2 is a monster. So yeah, I looking forward to go to C1. But yeah, uh, what uh, what I would like to say, I would say another thing. Yeah, I have my like the language culture.
What's this?
No, yeah, but as like my I saw that if you like to if you like it, if you would like to learn and you need a new language, you need to suffer
Yeah,
from a point of view, because you cannot learn a language standing on your
comfort
couch, I
zone.
think, or
Comfort
yeah, on
zone.
your bed, yeah, on your
Mhm.
uh,
On your couch, not
sleeping
coach, couch.
couch.
Mhm.
So yeah, you need to suffer. You need to stay out of your comfort zone, as you said, because yeah, I'm doing my part. I talking with you in English, and I'm getting my results. I have already seen. I have already seen the results, because
Mhm.
I think I talking much more faster, and that was what uh, not infuriates me, but what made me sad, because I could not talk fast, but now I can, and I started talking in English, because as I said, I think I got much better. Yeah,
Mhm. Yeah.
but and I think I would need to do the same with French when I have the opportunity, because I will like I did with you. I will start with, oh, I want to know about this and about that, but then we me and the other teacher, I think that as soon as possible we should start talking in French, because it will be hard, but it's necessary.
It
Yeah,
it is.
that's it.
This suffering, but you're right. You're really right with your statements. I couldn't agree more. Yes. Speaking of speaking languages, it's kind of suffering. Yes, because you have to force yourself to speak in a language that is not yours. In other words, it means it's not natural for you to speak a language that is not yours. It's not natural at that moment because it's something that your brain, your your mouth, your your mouth are not still ready. It's like doing like exercising is not natural. Exercising is really unnatural because you have to do something with your body that your body does not normally do if you don't really have it to do, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
and speaking another language is the same thing because you're not used to, okay, you learn, and even when you're learning, you just learn because you have your parents talking, you have the television talking, you have the radio talking, you have so many things there. Everybody's talking, then you start learning, you start getting, but it's a process. It's not natural. It's not something that we're born with. We're not born we were not born to speak. I mean, like English wasn't put there when we were being generated in our mom's womb.
like let me
No,
write
yeah.
something here.
So
Like, oh,
we get to the world without any language, without any language. The language is a process of acquisition.
like
And
these two words here, they are quite hard for the beginner because this is not a word in Portuguese like R and L.
yes, we don't have those phonemes in Portuguese, those sounds. No, we don't. And then you have to really train your mouth, your lips, everything. Like you have to train your phonetic uh, organs to really do that. You have to really do a movement that but it becomes natural with time. You know what? Reading. Have you ever thought that reading, studying are not natural? Reading is not a natural thing. We get used to that. Okay, with a lot of training, we get faster reading, watching things. We can you imagine spending a lot of time in front of the TV? We were not born for that, but since we have a society here, there, we have family, things that watch TV, we get used to watch TV. If we were to think about a native Indian, let's think about an Indian, like he lives in a tribe. He doesn't a tribe without technology. He doesn't have television. He doesn't have anything. He's gonna learn what his society will teach him. And the same thing happens to us. It's a process of acquisition, and same thing happens to the world. Why are you learning English? Because English is important to the world. Because if it weren't important, you might not have started studying English with me. That
Let
so
me, yeah,
w-
no, no, say.
yeah, yes, just what I mean is that it's crazy. It's just a process of acquisition that we do that. It's not natural, but the moment we get used to that, the moment we get really familiar with those things, that then it becomes a part of us, then it becomes natural, and that's a part of us that
Natural,
will take
yeah.
care with us until we die.
Yeah, I think talking in English is becoming natural for me because I can talk much faster. So the words come to my mind and I don't need to think about them. They, like in Portuguese, I don't need to think about the word so I can talk. The words just come to my mind in the right order, in the right conjugation. And yeah, English is becoming that because yeah, right now I'm talking in English, but I'm not thinking about it. The word just come to my mind. So
And
it's
that's perfect.
yeah. But I would like to ask another thing
Mhm.
because I have learned just one language, that is French, because English it was quite heterodox. It's quite different from the
Mhm.
manual, like the standard. Like I didn't do any class. Yeah, on school. I just did on school, but it was nah,
Mm-hmm.
weak. Let's say.
Uh-huh.
So I have learned just one language, that is French. But I learned it using Duolingo. Do you know Duolingo?
I do. Mm-hmm.
So I would like to learn German now, but I don't know
Me
where
too.
to start. Like English, you would say, ah, you should do classes with me because I'm an English teacher. But I don't want to do German classes. I want to learn by myself. In the beginning, when I reached someone B1 or B2, I start doing classes just to improve. But yeah, I think I will start with Duolingo because I don't know anything better. Do you know
Oh,
something better?
I do. If I can send you some links that really help me because I can speak some French, I can speak some German by watching some videos on YouTube teaching teaching the greetings like hallo, wie geht es dir? Hallo, ich heiße Diego, ich bin 21 Jahre alt, ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. Ich wohne in Sertanopolis. Yes, like I remember like teaching and learning. Like, hello, my name is Diego. I'm 31 years old. I live in Sertanopolis. Ich komme aus Brasília. Ich komme aus Brasília. Ich spreche ein bisschen Deutsch. I can speak a little German. Dankeschön, like bitte, like thank you and you're welcome. I know some things, and I just learned them by watching some videos on YouTube. And of
Yeah, but I will tell you what. I went to I many times I went to Catuai, and in the shop
bookstore,
like livraria,
bookstore.
bookstore. There are these books about how to greet in English, like, oh, hello, I want one bread, like for your main French phrases, like, oh, you know how to greet in, like, they want to sell it because it's easy. It's easy that to learn, like, to greet instead of learning the conjugation. So yeah, to be honest,
I learned
uh,
those things, but then you okay because you should have a start, but
yeah,
afterwards but afterwards you start getting deeper and deeper.
yeah,
Remember, I
yeah,
learned the
yeah.
conjugation of the verb have, which is like have. Ich habe, du hast, hast, sie hast, hast, sie hast, hast, wir habst. I don't know. I gotta really check. But yeah, you learn the conjugation also of the verbs. Like,
No, no. I
ich
mean,
habe einen Bruder. Like, I have a brother. Ich habe einen Bruder. Ich habe ein Auto. I have
no,
a
no,
car.
no. I mean, I think I was quite harsh, but what I mean is that I think that some persons want something very quickly, and they got it wrong because not about German, but about English. A lot of like they lie. Oh, I have a good English. I have intermediate. A
Intermediate.
good English is a B1.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm quite harsh. Like, but oh, longe de mim, stay from,
Far
not
from
stay
me.
from
Far
me.
from me. Far from me.
Far from me for being harsh. I accept your links. I'm not talking bad about them. Yeah, but tell me, I will watch them because I started, but now I stopped it because I cannot
You,
hold the world like
you can.
Atlas.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
But the thing is that you can, and those videos are very short videos. They are like 8-minute videos like that
yeah,
you, but they are very well explained. The things like, but because for example, you should get used to the sounds, how it sounds to say like hello, choose, or like tour, because it has like the alphabet. How do I say the alphabet? Because those are the basics. When you have like the base, you can do
yeah.
everything afterwards. You'll be great.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but German is a quite interesting language. Many people say, "Hi, you're crazy about learning German because German is a lot more complicated than English." But I don't really care because because they say because German has four declinations, I think. Then you have to think like the accusative inclination. We have some other thing that I'm not very used to, but if I really have to learn, well, okay, fine. I think it would be great. You know what? I'm talented with languages, so I think I would struggle, of course, because I'm a learner. I'm learning a language that I'm not really used to. English for me at the beginning wasn't as natural as it is right now. Now the words come out naturally, but at some point I was like you. I would think a little bit, like I would stutter a little bit. I would stop. I would have a lot of pauses during my speech because I didn't have like the right words right there for me. But the moment I started practicing more and more, that I started really having more acquisition, that I started reading more and watching um, whatever thing whatever videos in English more, I started getting better, better, and better. You know, and that's how things. Yeah, nothing comes to us like magic. We gotta really struggle. If we really want to be the best of ourselves, we should do that. And it's practice. Language is all about practice. There is no other way but practice.
What do you think about courses
Courses,
that aim to teach English in 1 year? I think it's fake.
of course. You're gonna learn the very basic. You're like, okay, you might learn some English, but not you won't be a C1 in a year. Never. It's impossible.
Yeah.
Unless you speak English 24 hours a day, like really. Just in
Yeah.
English 100, but no one is like that, especially living in Brazil. No one. And the thing is, a language is a very vast universe. Is vast. A language universe is vast. So many things to learn, so many structures. So your brain needs time to absorb all information. It's the same thing if it were, okay, like uh, trees, plants need water. The same thing, like, okay, they need water. I'm gonna put a lot of water here for them to be happy. If there is too much water, the earth, the soil cannot absorb all the water. It will float. And it will be bad for the tree. So it has to go little by little until it starts getting more and more familiar with this, and until it started getting fed by that water. Okay, the same thing. We cannot have to put everything at the same time because uh, in that case, speaking of the brain, it won't respond like this because it takes time. It takes time to, okay, you might learn, okay, you learn English in 18 months, like Institute Harvard. Okay, but it's a 18-month English. You see, you know what I mean? It's an 18-month English. It's not like, uh, and the person needs to be really, for someone to go there and be good, this person has to have an English background. But if the person is just a very beginner and goes there, it won't. It's like playing the piano. I have my piano here. I can just be good at it if I really practice. If I don't practice, I let's see.
É verdade que estava lá, você tirou, né?
Okay, and the thing is, it is extremely important that we okay, that we study more and more. What will make us like more advanced is the way that we study, but it won't happen like this, unfortunately. At least you need from 2 to 3 years to speak like a C1 or C2, if you really, because if you really have to. That's what I think. But if you are exposed, it can go faster. But no one has like 20 hours in Brazil speaking English, because you have to go to the supermarket and the cashiers don't speak English. You have to go to the farm, you have to go to the drugstore, and no one, you hardly ever will meet someone who will speak English with you. So you got to use your Portuguese somehow. You might have like 1 or 2 hours or 3 hours of English exposure or whatever language exposure, but that's not 20 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Uh, but I don't know how I learn English, to be honest. Just
I
to
know.
end this. Yeah, because when I realized it, I just knew the words and conjugations, and yeah, it was quite funny. Yeah.
Can I tell you how you learn?
Yeah.
First,
Tell.
may I ask you some questions about your
Yeah.
learning process?
Yeah.
Great. Did you used to play games as a
Yeah.
kid
Yeah. Games. It was game.
in English?
Yeah. So
Okay,
it was the games. But
you already answered your own question,
yeah,
my question.
but yeah, it's funny because like the beginning, how do I play the games with English when it could be in Chinese, because I didn't understand anything, but somehow I understood. So
Oh,
it's this is the funny part.
okay. Yes, and that's the point. You were there. You were playing games in English. Then you were seeing like the images and you have the image, then you
Uh,
have the description. Then your brain automatically started associating the image to the image to the writing.
yeah,
It,
yeah,
it's it's
perhaps,
it's
yeah,
something very natural. Then you really wanted to talk to your friends. Maybe you were playing an online game with your friends. Then you really decided to talk to them. Then you had to use the right vocabulary. I don't know if you did that, but a lot of people, they go to Google Translator, they translate, they get there and they learn and they talk. It makes you uh, do that without noticing that you're learning, you're getting acquisition. Then when
yeah,
you start reading, you have to read about the stories for you to understand what the game is about. It's all in English. If you don't know certain words, you go there and then you're getting more and more vocabulary. It starts happening out of the blue. It's immersion, it's exposure. We cannot learn any language without exposure,
true.
without practicing. That's it. That's how you learn. And I know that because I have some students with me that they got to me with good pronunciation because of games. And that's perfect. And I have other ones because they sang. And then they like to sing English songs. And then music helped, like it was my case. And songs, even though I didn't know the meaning of the words that I was singing, but I knew the pronunciation, how to really pronounce them. Then when it was just, and when it was about me just learning their meanings, it was a lot faster.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, and that's what happened to you. You just you were very curious. You just like it's like it was you were like me in Spanish with my friends. I didn't know certain words. I would ask, I would try to make notes, I would try to talk to use. Okay, I learned the word, I don't know, vaso. Okay, que chido, que chido. Oh yeah, oh, I have the computer. Hola, que chido. Like, oh, that's cool. Yeah, okay, then try to really learn. Like yo tengo un chorro de bolígrafos. Like I have many pens. So if you and the secret is one of the secrets of speaking good English and with good vocabulary is learn it, use it. That's one of the topics that I have in my book that I'm writing about English. Learn it, use it. If you learn something, don't really wait to use it. Start using, make senses with this. And then the more you do that, the better you become at it.
Yeah, true, true.
That's how I improved my English, my language that I've been learning so far. Okay, do you have any more questions?
No.
But before we go, let me just teach you something here. Okay, so just before, can you pronounce these words here? I
opened the door.
open the door. Oh, you got it. Really good. And here, I would met. It's incorrect because I always use I would meet. I would meet you in person. Okay, always remember the verb here
Yeah, it's
is
true. Yeah.
normal. So just this more normal verb. Then here, when you say enfim in English, you use anyways. I like to do this, but anyways, let's blah, blah, blah. When you change the subject of things, you use anyways. Nod, when you do this movement, nod. Oh, hey. Hey, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Men usually do that to greet each other. How would you write this word here?
Surprised.
Oh, you got the right pronunciation. Good. Good job. Like it. How do you pronounce this word here?
Couch.
Couch. Yes. Pay attention because this word here is coach. Coach, couch. Coach, couch. And then here, classes, you always use the verb take. Take classes or have classes. Or class. And how do you pronounce this word here?
Learned.
Learned. Oh.
I don't believe I'm doing this wrong. Because yeah, this silly mistake. But I will watch the class to see better. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No problem. I will see the class.